It is good.
It is. All right, over the top chili. So I've done a little research, kind of watched a couple videos out there, and it kind of surprised me how people decided to do it. Not really sure about I'm not really on board. Okay, I'm gonna make this because we've been asked several times now, even on the Flat Top King, what's your thoughts or have you made over the top chili? Because we have done different versions of smoking the meat and grinding the meat and making chili sauce for hot dogs. We've done a members only chili, then we replicated that and did brisket style chili. So the idea of over the top chili kind of, once I see it done, I'm just kind of perplexed. Is that a word?
I think so. I think
Good.
you used it right.
Did I use it right too?
I think you did.
Getting better. And the reason is because if we make a ground beef and we put it into a ball like a meatloaf and then smoke it over top of it, I can understand the fat drippings and all that stuff, but you're not maximizing the smoke flavor, so you're almost like hindering yourself. So my initial thought was, why wouldn't we just put it on a sheet tray, line the ground beef out completely, because you're going to smash it up, get all that more smoke flavor, and then those juices would pile up in it. You can just dump all that in there. So it just kind of weird. But we're going to play along with the system today. Over the top chili, I'm going to throw my twist in it and see if it comes out as good as what people say it is. I do have hesitation or reservations, but other than that, we're going to have a fun day today. I got the Traeger. It's on, I think it's on like 225, only because I want to hit that smoke mode for about an hour just to see if we can incorporate a little bit more flavor to the meat. But let me show you what I got. I'm done rambling. All right, I got brisket trimmings left over from that pastrami that we did, the smoked pastrami. That's left over from that. I've got a, what is this, chuck roast? Yep, I got a chuck roast from Ingles. I got some poblano peppers, some bell peppers, some jalapenos, some onion. I got my chili blend right here. This is homemade. If you guys want this exact recipe, you can look it up on Pellets and Pits. We will have it there available. And then tomatoes of choice. I don't know if it's really a big deal, but we got sauce, we got paste, we got beef broth, crushed tomatoes, diced tomatoes, a little W sauce. All right, let's get some prep work done, and then we'll start grinding our meat, and then we'll put everything on that smoker and see what happens. First things first, I need to take this chuck roast out, cut it in manageable pieces for our grinder, and then put it in the freezer while we prep our vegetables. It's going to help it go through the grinder a little bit more easier. And then this brisket right here is already cut up, so that's what I'm going to try to mirror. Just manageable pieces. All the fat and everything. That's where you're going to get a lot of the flavor.
And if people don't have a grinder, what meat can they use?
Any store-bought ground beef, chuck roast, sirloin, I mean, whatever ground beef you want to. You can go lean, you can go fatty. You're the one eating it, so you need to make that choice. Alrighty, so we have our beef prepped, our vegetables prepped. I have no idea if this is going to matter or not. I just thought, like I said, I'll try to incorporate a little bit more flavor if I could. So this is the idea. While we're grinding the beef, we're going to add a little bit of the vegetables, a little bit of the seasoning to the ground mixture. So that way that smokes, maybe incorporates a little bit more flavor. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not going to make it 40 times to try out. That was just my thought process. We have our meat grinder. Let's see.
It's not plugged in.
Gotta plug it in. There we go. Cooking with gas now. So first thing I want to do, just guessing here, it's not a big deal. It's all going to end up in the chili anyways. And then I'm definitely going to use that whole jalapeno. That's why I kept it to the side. Maybe just a little bit more, something like that. That looks good right there. Okay, so as this grinds, I'm just going to add this a little bit at a time and just let it grind together. All right, I'm going to start working on that, but before I do, I just got my Dutch oven right here. I mentioned before, like especially on the Santa Maria and other things, I like to protect the bottom of my pots. Just helps all that soot and stuff like that not get on there. So I'm just going to add a little avocado oil for sauteing. Honestly, you're not really worried about it like a traditional saute, right? We're just going to soften the vegetables, try to get some smoke flavor on there. So all these are going to go on there. Start wilting down and stuff like that. you're only at 225 degrees, so it's not like you're flambeing and stuff. So this is going to go in here. Woo, I need to get that top rack out of there. All right, on there it goes. We're gonna let it warm up as much as we can. I'm gonna start messing with that meat. All right, we have roughly 3 pounds of meat. You can see that's all ground up. I did the coarse grind because I felt like it might just give the chili a little bit more chew. So this is the idea. I'm just gonna add about half of the seasonings in there. I honestly don't know if it'll matter. I'm just guessing. So roughly half. And then a little W sauce. One. We're just guessing today. It's a lot of chili. And to that, we're just gonna bind it up. The good thing about doing it like this is once you put your gloves in there, your hands, it actually starts creating like a tackiness to the chili, to the beef, and it'll hold together a little bit better. Warming up that fat. It smells good, I can tell you that. I know what you're thinking, why not add the vegetables now? I don't know, like I said, I just put it in the grinder. Hell, who knows if it matters. All right, so my idea is this. Here's my rack to go to the chili. It fits almost perfectly with these little notches. This sticks out on the corners a little bit. There's no reason to go a little bit larger than your pot. You can, maybe it'll shrink a little bit.
So there's more meat that's exposed to the smoke.
Yeah, and that's why I honestly try to put some of the vegetables in there too, because I just felt like, you know, I don't know. Maybe it'd help it. I don't know if we ever really know.
You're gonna tell them how you got that small sheet?
Took a regular cookie sheet and then just use my little grinder and grind it down.
Cut it in half.
Yep. That looks good right there. And this is for all my bean haters and bean lovers out there. Today we decided not to use beans, so we've added more beef. If you're going to use beans, you could definitely cut the amount of beef that you're using back a little bit, but since we decided to go with more beef, no beans today. All right, on the smoker it goes, and then I'm gonna hit that smoke mode at 225. And we're gonna do that for an hour. All right, we've hit that hour mark. I'm just gonna adjust it to about 275. Let's start to get that temperature up there. Heck, we'll be ornery today and to go to 285. In between 300 and 275, just because we can. Well, it's definitely looking good, that's for sure. Definitely gets a lot of smoke on there. As I imagine, like I said, I'm sure those vegetables aren't even hot enough to saute. So what we're gonna do now is just start adding ingredients. So, diced tomatoes, a little bit of garlic. I held the garlic back just in case it did get hot enough. I didn't think it would, but better safe than sorry. Tomato sauce, tomato paste. I'm gonna start with half of a can. We'll see what kind of consistency we get. We can always add a little bit more later. Crushed tomatoes, a can of beef broth, and the rest of that chili seasoning. Now that everything's mixed, we got our temperature raised. I'm gonna put back on there. We'll check it in another hour. Still looking good, still looking good. Just out of curiosity, I'm gonna check the temperature of this right here. I don't know if it really matters considering you're gonna be crumbling it up anyway. So about 170 degrees. We know that's not cooked enough because we know that medium rare is about 125. So I'm actually just gonna keep it at 275, a little bit lower. All right, it's been about 3.5 hours total. Absolute beautiful color. I've been sneaking little pieces here and there. It's definitely got some smoke flavor to it. Take this off. Let me show you what the inside looks like really quick. This is why I held off on that tomato paste, because I didn't want to add too much because I didn't know how much reduction would be there, and I didn't want it too thick. So, looking good. So now's the fun part. I guess this is why you call it over the top chili. I'm going to use our strainer as a helper. Because then we'll take this All right, let's give it a good mix. All right, for my personal opinion, I want a little bit more liquid in there. It's a little thick for me, so I'm looking about a cup and a half of water. Moisture, you can add beer, you can add more beef stock. I thought it was plenty flavorful enough not to really add a lot more flavor. I don't think adding water is going to dilute it. I think it's pretty stout. Now listen, since this is one of the tricks I can give you, I know for a fact, when you're cooking on a smoker, it takes a long time for this heat to penetrate and to build up. It's not like being on the stove. I warmed up my water, so I didn't use cold water. So if you're going to use a beer or stock or anything like that, I'd highly advise you to warm it up if you're going to add it in the later stages, because it'll cool this down. It'll just take forever to cook. So now we got it there. It looks pretty good to me. See the consistency we're working with? I like that right there. We put the Traeger up to 325, 330, something like that, 335. You want to open it for me?
Yep.
So now we'll put it on there and we'll cook it another hour and a half, something like that, and show you what it looks like when it's done. Alrighty, in full transparency, this is what we did. About an hour remaining instead of that 2 hour mark. I just took it inside the stove and just finished it. I felt like the vegetables were still had a little bit more crisp on there than what I wanted. My kids got back home from school. I showed her what we had. She's a chili fiend. She loves chili. But she did not like the idea of seeing the vegetables. She don't mind eating the vegetables. She didn't like seeing the vegetables. So, as a dad, I picked out quite a few vegetables and put them in here and blended them up. Now, this was a little bit more chunkier than what we like. I'm trying to keep my opinions open. I don't think it is the world's greatest chili. I think it's a different chili. Even she said it's good. It's just not your chili, right? I think each family has the same.
The flavor is really good. I really like the homemade chili seasoning.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's, we didn't add beans. We're a beans family.
We do like beans.
What did she say?
She said that's not chili because it doesn't have beans.
Boom! So you guys can argue with my sixth grader. But really, truly, I think, chili can just come back to like each household. You have your own unique way of doing it. We've had ours. I don't think it's bad. Matter of fact, I think it's actually pretty good. It's just uniquely different.
Yeah, it is. It's very good. It's just different than your normal chili.
It's more tomatoey, but we let it reduce as long as we could. And you can see there's still vegetables in there. I told her she's going to have to deal with it. Something simple like that. Then obviously the toppings, or however you want to do it. So we'll just do some green onion. A little shredded cheese. We've got some tamales that are warming up on the stove as we speak. Some homemade tamales.
Ooh, I didn't know you were doing that. It's
nice.
Yeah. Nice little surprise.
All out. So, are we tasting?
Yep.
It's not like we haven't been tasting.
We've already been tasting.
All day.
Hot.
It's tomatoey. I think the peppers add a sweetness. I think in general it is tomato heavy. Like I said, we typically don't go that route. A little tomato goes a long way for us. I would eat it in a restaurant and like it. Yeah. I would think I would sit across from you and say, I like mine better, but that's a personal preference. Somebody might eat this and be like, this is the best chili I've ever had. So it's extremely close. It's so different. So I think it's the difference, honestly, of like a smash burger or a juicy burger. People swear by one, people swear by the other, and they're both burgers, right? They're both uniquely different. They're both uniquely good. So do I think it's worth it to go the extra mile and do a over-the-top chili on the smoker? Not really. I mean, I really don't see the benefit. I mean, I'm not saying it's not a great chili doing it that way. There's just many other methods. I didn't really feel like this was... I think you could actually just take the meatloaf, smoke it on there, and then once it's done in like 3 hours, take it out and put it in your pot inside and be just as happy. I don't think you would ever notice a flavor depth difference. So, hot.
Blowing it for me.
It is blowing. Look at the wind. For you guys that follow me on the Flat Top King, last year we filmed our doves quite a bit, and they're back this year. It's pretty cool. So you'll be hearing those in the video.
Transition to National Geographic.
Yeah, we have some crazy things happening. So there you go. That's over the top chili. I'm glad we did it. It's because of you guys that we're able to be creative. You guys kind of push us and show us, hey, do this, do that, and do this. And that's what we do. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button, pound the notification button, share with your friends. Anytime chili's on the table is a pretty good day.
Yeah. It is good.